And so the finalists came out for each award, at least each important award. Was there anyone that surprised you, Skit?
In terms of finalists, no one really surprised me, I would say. Everyone's who I expected. Even the winners, like I feel like I can pick out who's gonna win each award. Besides maybe MIP, but I feel like that's gonna be Tyrese Maxey. What about you?
I'm just happy Shay's there. Um, I hope he's two. I don't think he's one. It's really interesting because the MVP discourse always fluctuates so much. Um,
Hmm.
and you hear one person say something different, but it's like who's actually credible. And unfortunately, like people follow certain media people's like opinions. Like I remember people used to follow Zach Lowe. He doesn't have a vote this year. I was listening to his podcast, but basically he's going to put his stuff out before like his choices after the finalists come out, which I just think is ridiculous. He has to do that because people just used to copy him.
Yeah, that's what
Because it's
people
that.
they legitimately would do that. They just copy his picks, and a lot of the media people, at least, like whoever Zach picked, almost always won the awards. I'll quickly read through the awards and the finalists real quick, just so the listeners know. Clutch Player of the Year, Steph Curry, DeMar DeRozan, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Again, these are not in order. These are just the players and the awards. They're going to be announced throughout this week, actually. Kia Defensive Player of the Year, Bam, Gobert, Wembanyama. Most Improved Player, Tyrese Maxey, Şengün, Kobe White. MVP, Luka, Shea, Jokic. Rookie of the Year, Chet, Brandon Miller, Victor Wembanyama. Sixth Man of the Year, Malik Monk, Bobby Portis Jr., and Naz Reid. And last but not least, the NBA Coach of the Year, Mark Daignault, Chris Finch, Jamal Mosley. And I also apologize to Matt because at the very start of this podcast, we did award predictions, and Matt was very specific about how to pronounce each of these awards. And I realized halfway through that I didn't do that at all.
I didn't actually realize that you'd fucked up. But yeah, it's skit commands Roy, Everpa, Mip, Koi. Um, the OGs will get this, but we
Deep
that's how
boy.
we
Yeah. Yeah.
deploy. Um, no, what actually stopped me when you were reading that out is that you shouted out Kia, and I'm like, bro, this is
Oh, I did? Oh.
yeah. You're like the Kia Defensive Player of the Year. I'm like, okay,
Uh,
okay, represent. This man drives a Kia, confirmed.
You know what, Matt? I'm all about that money. Remember earlier in the pod, Chesapeake, I had to correct you on the pronunciation. Over
Hmm
here, giving a shout out to Kia. Business is business, guys. You have to do what you have to do sometimes. Should we go real quick and say who's gonna win each award? Because I feel very confident that I can pick out every single winner correctly.
Okay, why don't you just go through it and I'll tell you if I agree or not?
All right. Clutch Player of the Year, Steph Curry.
No,
Who do you think's gonna get it?
I don't want. I don't. I just don't want him to get it. I don't think Shea will get it, but I
Cheers.
don't think Steph. Like I
You
know
think
Steph
DeMar will?
leads in like. No, I
Yeah,
don't think.
Steph. I heard some media people talking about Steph Curry clutch stats, and I was just like, oh man, they're gonna give it to him, aren't they?
He needs
So
something. He's
yeah,
not in the
that's
playoffs.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was the 10 seed. It's like, come on, two guys who were 10 seeds are on this list who have a bad winning percentage in the clutch, but because they scored a bunch of points that count as clutch points, they're gonna win the award. It's insane. Meanwhile, Shea has like a almost 70% winning percentage in clutch games and has like slightly less points than them, but he's not gonna get it. It's insane to me. Especially because they're
Okay.
not gonna give him MVP either. So it's like, come on, man. But anyway, sorry. Moving on to Deep Boy. I think it's gonna be Gobert.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. MIP, I think it's gonna be Tyrese Maxey.
I
I
agree.
don't feel this is the one I'm least confident in. Who do you
I
think
would love
gets it?
Kobe White to get it. Like
Yeah.
I would love that just because he's like they're both lovable. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
And they're both one's UNC and one's Kentucky. Um, but Kobe White's just infectious. He just has that like vibe to him. Everyone loves him, which means that
Yeah.
everyone next year won't like him or be critical of him because that's how the NBA works.
Yeah, that is true. He's definitely deserving to be here. I just find it really funny how two guys who are on the 9 seed that didn't make the playoffs are finalists for NBA awards, but I don't blame the players, I blame the system. The MVP, what's MVP again? MVP or just
MVP,
MVP?
MVP.
MVP, yes. It's like sounds French. I think Jokic is gonna win it. Feels pretty set in stone with that one.
Yep,
And he's not gonna care
best
at
player.
all about that.
He's the best player
Rookie
in
of
the
the
world.
year, yep. Rookie of the year, Victor Wembanyama.
Roy Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, Roy Victor Wembanyama. Six Moy, six man of the year. Naz Reid.
Probably. I don't know Six Moy that well. Also, Victor Wembanyama sounds French as well. Just so you know.
Yeah, I wonder why. The NBA Coach of the Year, Mark Daignault of the
Yes,
Oklahoma
sir.
City Thunder.
See, we'll get
Yep.
something. We get Coach of the Year.
Yeah, that is true. So it can't be too mad. But that is my prediction for what all the awards will be. By the time this podcast comes out, I think about two or three of these are going to be announced. Nonetheless, though, you guys can let me know if I was absolutely wrong or if I'm correct.